Happy Friday, honey. I'm happy to see you here, guys. Honestly, how is everybody? How is everyone? I'm doing, we'll start with the collective. How's everyone been finding the energies? Because honestly, Pisces season's been rough these last couple of days. Like, I was quite looking forward to it. But I will say there's like some real deep wounding coming up, I've noticed, for myself and as a collective and people I've spoken to. So, oh, thank you for saying my hair looks nice. I appreciate that. But yeah, I do think that it's been pretty heavy emotionally. I don't know how everyone else is feeling about that. Lots of triggering, it seems, as well. And like, one thing I kind of wanted to touch upon as well is, and Spirit's kind of nudging me to mention it, is the twin flame connection. And obviously a lot of you guys that follow me here do resonate with the twin flame connection. You know your twin, you've experienced the twin flame dynamic, and you understand that there is a runner chaser dynamic to the twin flame connection. And I feel like a lot of people at the moment are very heavily triggered, and you know, you are seeing probably like a bit of a runner energy in your counterpart at this time, most people, or the counterparts have distanced themselves and it's forced the DFs to walk away. Sorry, I'm just reading. I had a few small moments today, but then quickly balanced. I love to ask what I need to know about my partner. If you've got any questions, there's just a little box there, because I don't always catch the comment section. But yeah, I'll be happy to answer questions. I'm just going to do a short collective and see what's going on with the DMs, because like I say, there's a lot of triggering. There's a lot of triggering going on at the moment. It does feel like at the moment the DMs are kind of being a bit dishonest with their own direction. A lot of chaotic energy. Yeah, it's funny because we've got the Hierophant in reverse. It's just, I've pulled the Hierophant and it's flipped round into reverse. So the Hierophant links spiritual journey. So I do feel like this is specifically for those that align with the twin flame connection. These DMs in separation are feeling like they want to kind of shut down from it for the time being. I don't think it's... I'm hearing as well Spirit saying that's interesting. So Spirit's kind of... I do think Spirit's going to be kind of pushing signs and synchronicities in the faces of these DMs. I'm just reading some of your comments. Constantly want to chase it and everyone try to pull away and it comes back. Yeah, I do think it's... The thing is, the runner chase dynamic is there to show you what you need to heal ultimately. And not everybody likes... I don't mean not everybody likes to hear that, but I think sometimes it can be hard to hear because you're like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm doing nothing wrong. And more often than not, even if you are in chaser energy, you aren't doing any wrong. But it's that your counterpart's showing you need to be a little bit more kind of, at times, independent on your own. And it's not always the easiest thing to do, because literally you could think, well, I'm there. What? But there's always something they're showing you. There's always something that you need to heal. And I do think that that's where the mirror exercise comes in really good for, like, as a healing tool. But back to the DM reading. They're trying to ground themselves ultimately. So if you're feeling your DM pull away and pull back from the spiritual journey, they are trying to ground themselves, because I do feel like they've had a really, really intense ride, Spirit's saying right now. They've had a really intense ride. They're trying to close out some cycles. And then interestingly enough, at the latter end of this reading, we've got the Ace of Swords, which is linked to communication. So I do feel really like, although you might feel your DM pulling back, when they're grounding themselves, that is when Spirit's going to hit them with the signs and synchronicities, and they're going to feel that nudge to reach out. So you might find that even though they're pulling away, the communication comes in quicker than you think. I'll just read a few comments. We trigger each other and fuel each other's insecurities big time. Yeah, well, that's the nature of these connections, and that's why some people see them as toxic. They're absolutely not toxic. And if you were in union with your twin, you know, completed your journey, you're in union, you've made it to the end, you've made it to the finish line, you probably would find that you're best friends, and that you know, you have almost like the fairy tale relationship, the idyllic, what everyone wants, harmonious union. It's just that when you're in the healing stages, you do trigger each other, and more often than not as well, you'll find that the things that they do, it's not actually that they're trying to hurt you, it's the circumstance. The circumstance makes them do these things that make them run away. Like, you know, they might have a karmic relationship, they might have parents that don't agree with the relationship. It's the situation, it's not the person, it's the situation. And it is to force you into your own healing journey and your own reflection, your own spiritual growth. And, you know, when people have this idea that twin flames are toxic, it really is. They are just getting the wrong end of the stick. They're getting the wrong end of the stick. They maybe aren't engrossing themselves in the healing journey as much as they should be. And ultimately, like I said, more often than not, if your twin flame's being toxic, they're not being toxic. It's a situation that's karmic and it's the influence of that. Just going to have a little look at what people have said. Yeah, communication came in this week. Oh, so glad to hear that. But yeah, definitely these DMs are being pushed into communication. Today, hon, actually, some moments came back in mind. I felt a little bit upset and then quickly rebalanced. Well, that's really good that you were able to do that. Because it has been kind of up and down in the energies. It feels like there's a lot going on. We're closing out a lot of cycles of it being the last astrological season of the year. And then we move on to Aries season, which would be the start of the astrological new year sort of thing. I hope mine communicate already. Yeah, tell me about it. Right, let's see what's going on with the DFs, because I do feel like some could be struggling, but others might resonate with the fact that they're probably aligning to, you know, something that's meant for them at this time. And that's the kind of energy that's coming through actually with this reading right now. We've got, ooh, interesting. So we've got the High Priestess. So you are in your knowing. A lot of the DFs are in their inner knowing. They know it's going to happen. You know, they know that this runner chaser dynamic is going to close out and the twin's going to come back, and they're kind of in their inner knowing. And I'm hearing graduated. So a lot of these divine feminines have hit like their target for where they need to be, and it's just wrapping up some last minute cycles or wrapping up some last minute healing. So you are closer to the end than you actually think. And we've got the Six of Wands to kind of assert that message, because this is about victory. It's about, you know, doing a lap of honour kind of thing. And I think that's what a lot of DFs are doing right now, a lap of honour. So last minute healing, wrapping up them last minute cycles. And, you know, ultimately we've got the Knight of Wands as well. So I do feel like these DFs are coming to a place where they're aligning to more positive things in their life. So this could be purpose. It could, for some, be relationships, because there is some DFs that have branched off and they are going down. You know, they may be dealing with soulmate relationships and they're staying away from the twin for the time being and letting the twin deal with the stuff. These DFs do realise that is going to come to it. You know, the soulmate relationship's not going to last, but it's what's serving them right now, and they're both teaching each other things, and that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. You know, for some it's purpose, for some it's soulmates, for some it's just enjoying life and just being more independent away from your twin flame, and, you know, enjoying that, the freedom of being maybe single or being with your friends or spending time with family. But there still is that niggle. There's that, oh, like, when are they going to communicate? When? Why haven't they? What's going to happen? Like, a lot of these DFs are still finding that there's a niggle. And, you know, it's that Knight of Wands energy, and that is your DM. That's your DM on the precipice of something. So even if your DMs ran and they are like pulling back, you will find that they are still fighting the urge to do something. They're exhausted. They want some time out. They want to rebalance. They want to check themselves. They want to make sure they're all in order, get the ducks in a row, close out cycles, that kind of thing. But ultimately they're being nudged towards you, and it could even come through a sexual energy. So you might be feeling like a little bit saucy, guys. You might be. And it is causing this kind of diverge with the DFs where they are like, oh, do you know what, right, I'm really good right now, but why do I feel like this? Like, it keeps rising up every now and again. And I would say that's your DM/spirit nudging you back and doing a bit of course correction. So, you know, you might see some signs and synchronicities based off that energy as well. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm sorry, I'm just having a sip of my coffee. And then I am going to start with the questions now.